Alright, this is the first lesson of our sword making. It's not only a refresher, but is an introduction to some of you, and it may also show you some skills that you haven't learnt before. So once again, we're going to do a basic sword, and we're going to be creating it out of 3 standard primitives. And the 3 standard primitives that we're using are 3 boxes. So what I'd like you to do is first create the blade, just using a long rectangular box. So I'm just going to do this in my top mode here. So we don't want it to be too thick, so quite skinny with a little bit of thickness on top. Okay, so that's going to be our blade. The second shape we're going to create is what we call a cross guard. So it sits just along here of the blade and it's going to guard our hand whilst we're hanging onto the handle. So I just press the escape key to get out of that box creation, and I can click on my box again, and I'm just going to draw a shorter but thicker box that's going to be the cross guard. Now I do just need to manipulate this a little bit so it's sitting with the blade in the middle of it, and that should be okay. We might just move our blade up just a little bit because that needs to sit right in the middle of the cross guard. And lastly, we're going to create a small box just next to our cross guard. That will be our handle. So I'm just going to create this to be short and a little bit long. There we go. And we just want to make sure that everything's all in line. So I'm just going to go through my views here to just move them a bit. So this one needs to be in the middle of the cross guard. Cross guard needs to be wider than the other two, and then the blade coming out the other end. I just want to make sure that's all lined up in all of the views. So just going to move the cross guard a little bit because it's sitting out of line there. Okay, so as you can see, this is a very, very basic sword. And we are now going to use different manipulating tools to create this into a realistic looking sword.